Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of September the 20th, 2024. Alita versus Android 18. Who wins? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado. And with me, and we're still pretty early on in the stream here, is Smendrick, and he is from Deutschland. Grüß Gott, Smendrick.
Grüß Gott alle zusammen. Hello,
Yes.
everybody. Hunter Warriors.
Es ist gut von Sie zu sprechen.
Yeah, it's nice to have you all here.
Yes,
And
indeed.
yeah, hopefully some girls and guys are coming to the stream.
Oh, yeah, they usually show up. And Angelus had asked for a link. I had forgot to send him one. Oh, and look who just showed up. It's Do Not Stand By. And Do Not Stand By lives about 26 miles from my house, 25 miles from my house. I guess if you can believe Google Maps, it's 26 miles. So anyway, he lives up in Arvada, Colorado. How's it going there, Do Not Stand By?
Going great, Creek. I look forward to driving those 26 miles in order to get to your house for tomorrow's IMAX viewing.
You betcha. You know, and I think Lee is going to come on too, and he was going to do it. He might be running a little late, I think. So yeah, we're going to have I guess I should have put a slide in here on this, but I didn't do it. But yeah, we're going to have an IMAX viewing of Alita Battle Angel tomorrow on my big screen TV, you know, so, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to do that after the Radio Chaos stream. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, I think. And I always look for an excuse to watch Alita. Obviously, I don't need an excuse to watch Alita, but I do look for one sometimes. So how are things up there in Arvada there? Do Not Stand By.
Yeah, going well. So finally, we're going to get some cooler weather tomorrow. It's been in the 80s for the last couple of weeks, so it'll be nice to get some cooler weather and start to have some fall weather coming up.
Yeah, for those of you that are, you know, kind of are way ahead of us in the metric system in terms of your, you know, what you understand temperature, the 80s Fahrenheit is about roughly 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. So, you know, anyway, it's been rather warm. It's kind of amazing here. It's not as hot as it was last month. I mean, it got up to 100 a few days, which is about 33 degrees Celsius, 34, something like that. And it's pretty warm, you know, but yeah, it is cooling down. Yeah, it's supposed to be in like the 60s, isn't it? And we've been getting some temperatures overnight in the 50s. So it's been pretty pleasant here in good old Littleton, Colorado. That's where I am. And, you know, we're just trucking along. What about you, Smendrick? What's it like over there in Deutschland, Germany?
Here in our region, the situation has normalized. Its temperatures went down 2 or 3 days ago to a normal situation here. Not such a lot of rain as in some region in Western Germany. It's a normal situation. Even if you live near the borders to the Czech Republic or to Poland or whatever, they have flood. Yeah. Even Austria has flood or had floods.
Yeah.
It's going down. The levels are all going down. We don't have too much damages. Maybe you have heard one of our bridges in next bigger town here. It's 50 kilometers away from here. A bridge broke down, but it was an old part of the bridge. that broke down, and they could remove or yeah, could remove some of the ruins before the flood came.
Mhm.
It's important, so the river can flow and nothing was stored. Yeah, yeah, that's what I can say at the moment.
And just joining us, my co-host from Brisbane and Queensland, Australia, and jealous. Alita is the best waifu.
Yeah, I'm less of the Anne and more of the jealous.
Ah, yes, yeah, you guys are all jelly, aren't you? Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about that. We'll, you know, well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So, anyway, how's things down under there, Angelus?
Fantastic. It is another rosatastic day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can kind of move on now. I guess I just want to remind everybody that, well, first of all, Charlie Smith and I went to see our queen, and man, I'll tell you, our queen, she is talented. She is really good at what she does. I was just absolutely mesmerized by her. I mean, golly, you know, she's it always amazes me, these people that do these these live plays like this, how much they have to remember. You know, they have scripts, you know, they got to remember this stuff, and it's just awesome. You know, I mean, it's not so much, you know, oh, we're just rote memory and all that, or rote memory rather. Sorry about that. But, you know, it's being able to deliver it naturally, you know, and all four of these actors right here, Chuck Woody Awuji, that's the guy on the left. He plays Cyrano, and of course, our queen there is on the right. The guy on the lower left, his last name is Powell. I can't remember his first name. Angelus, you told me what his name was once, didn't you? He's the guy on the lower left there.
Yeah, Will Hockman. He plays Joe Hill in
okay.
Blue Bloods.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I thought it was a guy. I thought his name was
cop
Powell.
drama.
I thought his name was Powell. Oh, anyway, and then the lady on the lower right, she plays. She runs. There's a cafe in this story, and she runs that. And she's excellent. You know, all four of these are excellent. But of course, the Creek was focused on our queen, and our queen. God, our queen, man, she is a superb actress. She is. I mean, it's just crazy how good she is. I mean, I was in awe. Yeah, Will Hockman. That's right. Yeah. So okay, but yeah, our queen is just super duper, you know, and the play is still going on. Anybody in the LA area, I highly encourage you to go see this play. It is awesome, and what makes it kind of unique or kind of, you know, really cool is it's certainly in the 1700s is when this is the time frame, but it's got a modern touch to it. You know, I mean, they didn't put a big nose on Chuck. That's what they call him. They didn't put a big nose on him. You know, they said, well, my nose is big or something. He said that, and you use your imagination, you know, and he's just awesome. You know, he was the main character, I guess, you know, because of course Cyrano de Bergerac, that's who the play's about. But our queen, oh man, I'm telling you, Charlie and I, our mouths were probably open about 50% of the time, you know, at how good she is. You know, I mean, it's just amazing. You know. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. I got to move on, I guess. But yeah, this thing's going to be through the 29th. And I highly encourage you, if you can go see this, do it. I mean, it's just super duper, and if you do like me and pay attention to our queen, man, you're just going to be, your brain is just going to, it's going to go sideways on you. That's what it's going to do, because she is so good in this play, just so very good, And actually, what happened after the play itself is that Charlie and I, we met Rosa outside, after the play. And, Charlie talked to her I don't know exactly how long Charlie talked to her, but I got to talk to her probably, I don't know, it seemed like it went by like in 30 seconds because I was having so much fun talking to her, but we probably talked maybe 10 minutes, at least 5 minutes. I don't know exactly how long, so, she told me some things that we in the Alita Army, we should be, we should take heart, because they're working on a sequel. They are doing it, just like she has said, in WonderCon 2022, she said they're trying like hell to get a sequel, and she told me a couple of things, that I kind of want to keep in confidence, but it kind of, I mean, I've always had a pretty high, not necessarily expectations, but I've been positive, about it. Anybody that's seen my has seen my YouTube channel, you see that under my, kind of my icon there, or my PFP on that, where I support Alita and Rosa Salazar passionately and positively, and I do, and I'm upbeat, about the movie and that stuff. But some of the stuff she told me is really, really gave me a boost, and I can tell you, our queen, she is so friendly and she is just as sweet as she can be. I mean, she's just super, she's a good person, she's she seemed to enjoy talking to Charlie and I, and she's just a really real person, just really good to the core, I think, and I'm rambling again. I'm sorry, but that's our queen there.
Video.
I'm sorry.
No, you.
Oh, I
Cue
could.
the WonderCon video.
I could probably do that.
Oh no, like you don't have to play it. I'm just saying that, like, in the back of your heads, cue the video, because it's rare for, like, quite literally, Rodriguez has called us out by name. I'm pretty sure at least once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron has called us out once, in that infamous, like, a man, a few words tweet back when it was re-released at October.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Rosa has as well. And like with people, stars, no matter how big they are or how much they're on the rise, like Rosa is, they, they're aware of the majority of fans are good. And like, and God rest his soul, but Landau was like the mouthpiece of all of this, and it was like as if he was probably the Alita Army's biggest fan, sort of thing.
Yeah, he was.
Like
he was. God, I miss John. I really miss John Landau. I mean, that segment or that interview where he said he opened up the LA Times and he saw that quarter page ad, and he said, "Way to go, Alita Army, keep it up," and stuff like that. He just really, he loved us as well, But Rosa knows we're here. She knows that she knows we really love her, and she loves us, So anybody that kind of feels like you're getting down a little bit because we don't have a sequel yet and stuff like that, take heart, because they are working on it, and they are going to try to get things moving on that one, or they're not trying. They are actually really trying hard, like she says, to get things moving. And yeah, go ahead.
Also, if you haven't already, sign up to friggin' this channel, Creaky's channel, because he's got the few shorts, this and the Alita Armies, because they've either one has got a few shorts and videos on this sort of thing. It's like like, again, I say Landau because he's what I call the mouthpiece, if you will. But even he said that he, in one particular interview, he quite literally said, whenever we do something, we give 110% of ourselves.
Yes.
And again, he quite literally said it's not something that we could do amidst all the Avatar 2 promotion. And that's understandable because that's their flagship. To use pop culture references, that's their Pikachu or their Goku, or take your pick of any one of the animes. And he's Eren Yeager, which is a Attack on Titans reference.
Mm-hmm.
But when he says that he takes 110% of ourselves, they have to make sure that their, like I said, their flagship, the Avatar project, does as well as it does, because it allows them to, develop these like passion projects, as Vladdy likes to call it.
Yeah, that's right.
And just because it makes $1 billion doesn't mean that Avatar fans is like any more or less important than Alita fans or even Titanic fans, because let's not forget Pooley, one of the OG guys, if you will. He was a Titanic fan, and then he himself was won over by Alita, a movie that made a modest $405 million. So go figure. Titanic, I think, is still like 6th or 7th or 4th even in terms of the goats of box office.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, they won't do anything unless they're dedicated, and it's quite clear that they are dedicated to Alita. I mean, the fact that they even managed to squeeze out a script, mind you, at all, is just amazing.
Yes, it is.
Like we've all heard of James Cameron's thousands of pages of notes.
Yes.
That Rodriguez used to make the first one.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've got a script, but there's so many more moving parts to consider. Having all the actors be freed up all at all the same time. And let's not forget, again, referring to other videos, that they said that if it weren't for having to initially cut it down to 2 hours, that we quite literally would have seen Chaos and Den in the first movie.
Yeah,
and that was from Alita Kalogridis herself.
Yeah. They cut it back from like 2.5 hours to 2 hours, I guess, didn't they? Something like that. So I would have really loved to have seen that scene where Alita is training, in Hugo's and Tanji's, kind of they had like a little training oval or something like that, because that's in the novelization. And the part where Alita tells Hugo, he gives him a 2x4, says, "Hit me with this when I come back around." He said, "Are you kidding?" or something like that. She says, "Hit me," like that. So, she does it. He says, "Okay." So she skates around everything. She just tears up all the, I guess, the mannequins or whatever they had out there, and came up to, was going after Hugo, and he was like scared. So he tried to hit her with the 2x4, and she just puts her arm up in a 2x4 split, or something. And she kind of grabs him and tumbles him over and gets on top of him. And she's like, she's going to punch him, and that part of that scene was in the extras. I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been super, But I can tell you, man, our queen, she is a really, really good person. She's and I was telling Smendrick pre-stream that she is so sweet. You know, I mean, God, it's just, and I'll tell you, in that play, she knocked my head off. I mean, she really did. I mean, I'm going, because I've been to several plays. You know, my second wife and I used to go to plays in southwestern Virginia. I can't remember the name of the city now, but I went to several plays there, and they were good for sure, you know. But this one, oh man, this one here, this is a joy to watch. You're never bored, you know. And you know, Chuck Woody Awuji is really good. You know what he plays Cyrano de Bergerac just so perfectly, you know. And if in case you don't know who he is, he played the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So and he is just super, man. He's great, you know. And the other guy that plays Christiane Hawkman, is that his name, Angelus?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he's good. You know, he's real good as well, you know. But Rosa, man, God, I was amazed. They have so many lines they have to know, and they got to deliver them. You know, when I say deliver them, I don't just mean, you know, be able to say the line from memory. You know, you gotta say it, you know, like it's just normal conversation. In other words, it's got to be a natural flowing of the words, you know, as opposed to like when you memorize something and you repeat it, you know, it's different, you know. So but anyway, I mean, I just love being there. It was just great. I wasn't bored for 1 second. And watching our queen, God almighty, I tell you, I mean, I'm rambling again, I'm sorry. But man, she is just so talented. I mean, golly, it's just amazing, you know. Of course, I told her some of this stuff too, you know.
well, to be fair, and to further Creaky's word, don't forget that how many of us, the Alita army, could read the like bits and pieces of the script of Alita. You know, I think of it from that angle as well. So it's, you know, when you're passionate about something, and you know, and that's why I say, you know, actors, especially Rosa, that they're professionals to say the least. And also, I remember one time, I forget who it was, but someone recommended that several years ago, when I had a vacation to the UK, they said if there's like a few things that you must do when I'm visiting the UK is to visit a live play or a live theater. You know, I had a few choices. The first one, which was like a Michael Jackson based one, like that was sold out at the time that we were going to go.
Yeah.
So we saw one that was, you know, written based on the story of the band Queen, the one by that Freddie Mercury was part of. And yeah, like I thought that, you know, it'd be some boring opera sort of crap, but no, I actually, you know,
opera
quite
crap.
enjoyed myself.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I know when I went to London, went to England, I've been to England like 3 times, and not the last time I went there on business, but the time before I went there, and we went to see Cats. A former girlfriend and I went to see Cats, you know. And I'm going to tell you this, and I am not lying. I am not saying this because you see mine and Rosa's picture on the right. I'm not saying that because of this, because I got to meet Rosa and talk to her and you know, that kind of thing. It was so great, you know. But I am not lying. You know, I liked this play better than I liked Cats, and I really thought Cats was great, you know. This one here, to me, it was just so super, you know. And once again, our queen just knocked that ball right out of the park. I mean, she was I mean, you know, her playing Roxanne, you fell in love with the character Roxanne, you know, because both of these guys, well, the guy Christiane, you know, in the beginning, well, I'm not going to give it away too much because I want everybody in the LA area to go see it. But because I went to see this, of course, you know, and but you know, the guy on the left, you know, Rose's character Roxanne is actually, she's kind of like infatuated or head over heels or whatever for Christiane. And Christiane, you know, he's a soldier, you know, and he's not too bright, you know, in terms of being able to, his vocabulary is super limited or something in the play. Now, certainly the actor's not like that, you know. But Cyrano, you see the guy in the middle there, Chuck, they call him. You know, Chuck's in love with Roxanne. You know, almost called her Rosa, but he's in love with Roxanne. But I saw this play also on television many years ago, but he's kind of an ugly guy. You know, now obviously, you know, Chuck Woody Awuji's not an ugly guy, but you know, he in the play he portrays himself. He's an ugly guy. He's got a long nose, and his face is not. He's not a good looking man, you know, and he is just madly in love with Roxanne, you know, and of course, being our queen, we can see why he would be madly in love with Roxanne, and this guy Christiane, you know, he kind of coaches him what to say to Roxanne, and he writes letters for him and stuff like that. So anyway, and that's all I'm going to say about it. We have Lee.
Howdy.
How's it going, Lee?
Hello, Lee.
Ed,
Yeah, we just
your message on Discord about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my girlfriend and everybody else in her house came down sick, and she's got her brother coming in later tonight.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Lee. So anyway, well, I'll send it. We'll reschedule them because I haven't heard from Alita Rave. So anyway, we'll reschedule because I want to do this. I want you guys to, you know, see the IMAX version. You know, it might take the IMAX version of Alita is it's really great, but I like the 3D version better. But and it's not by much, because anything with Alita in it played by our queen, I'm going to love it, you know. But anyway, like I said, you know, our queen just, God, man, she just. Oh, and just for you guys out there, Lee's from Fountain, Colorado, and he's about 60 miles south of my house, which is roughly 90 kilometers or something like that. So
roundabout, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, our queen is just, she's super. She's such a good person, and God, is she sweet. She, you know, coming out there talking to Charlie and I, you know, she was just so friendly with us, you know, and everything. I just really super, you know, just.
Oh, so you actually got to meet her.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm late, by the way. I got hung up with something.
Yeah, that's cool. But anyway, yeah, I guess I talked to her on maybe 10 minutes. I'm not sure. You know, we talked about a lot of stuff, you know, and you know, I showed her, I told her about Radio Chaos, and I told her about my stream, you know, or not my stream, my channel, you know, and you know, showed her showed her my channel, and she looked at it and said, "Oh my God, 180,000 subscribers." And I said, "Yeah, all for you, girl." So anyway, it was real great, man. I mean, she really loved that, you know. So, but yeah, she's personable, man. She's super. And I'll tell you, and you can say this about all these actors too. The way, and this is something I know I said this already, but kind of having to memorize all these lines, you know, and then deliver them like it's natural, you know, that to me, it just amazes me, you know. It just really does. So anyway, but yeah, once again, I promise I'll shut up about this, but our queen is super. And you know, I will tell you one thing I did say to her. I told her that you know, she was the queen of the Alita army, and she said, "That is a crown I would wear with pride," you know. So, you know, she's just really sweet, you know, just so sweet. So anyway, I'm going to get off of this before I make a fool out of myself, I guess. So, Okay, any questions about this? Everybody in the LA area, of course, we don't have that many people on the stream, but if you're in the LA area, go see this play. Man, this play is great. You won't regret it. I guarantee you. It's a really super play. And the Pasadena Playhouse is really neat. It's kind of a historic thing. It's over 100 years old, Now, obviously, people in the UK and in Germany, they have buildings older than 100 years. But it's still really neat. It's you see the inside and the kind of the ornamentation and stuff is kind of early 20th century. You can see it, and it's pretty cool. I so enjoyed that play. It's just. And I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up now. Anybody want to?
No, go on, Creaky. My first question is, how many performances has she to do a week?
Well, usually
I don't know.
I think it's mostly one a day, but I think there's maybe 3 or 4 days in there where they do 2. Like when Charlie and I we went to the 2 o'clock or 2 p.m. showing on September the 14th. And that's right, Finn, September the 14th, but that should be like some kind of Alita holiday or Rosa holiday, shouldn't it, for us in the Alita Army? Something like that.
Finn.
And I cannot imagine them doing 2 plays like this, but I think there are some days in there, and you can go to the Pasadena Playhouse's website, and they have a schedule and that kind of stuff. And it's God, I imagine it's grueling, because I was talking to my brother about this. He's stepped back a little bit from the industry, but he was saying these plays like this, they actually, if they don't do a full rehearsal, at least they go kind of do like a walkthrough or something, or just maybe a very, just reading a few things, but they do something just about every day to prepare, and I imagine she is really taxed, I guess, or whatever, but is going through that and all. She just seemed as fresh as a daisy. Boy, she was nice, so anyway.
That's great.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the theater itself. How was the lighting? How was the sound?
The sound system is super. Yeah, and we sat in the front row too, by the way.
I know, but maybe
sitting in the front row at times, we were no further than like maybe 8 feet from our queen, and she'd be up on stage, And,
I do have a bit of a question.
Sure.
That bust that you've been storing, have you gotten the chance to, or did you get the chance to ask her about shipping it to her or something?
I told her about the bust, and we're going to work on that, so.
Okay.
So, great.
Yeah. Well, she knows I got it, that's for sure, so. And we'll work out the details on that one. So, that's no problem, but yeah, she's pretty busy right now. So
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. We don't want to push it or anything, like that. So, but she knows. Matter of fact, that one of the things I told her that we had this bus for, and we've had it since 2019, even before I was in the Alita Army, and it was kind of like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but her reaction was kind of like on one of those videos, like, for me? It's like, just so, she's like humble, I went, well, yeah, yeah, for you. So anyway, but yeah, just really cool, And Smendrick, you was asking me to tell you about the inside of the theater. It's pretty neat. It's like I say, it's early 20th century. I wouldn't say Art Deco, but it's kind of in that area, I guess. But the seating is really good. And it's got a balcony in it. And if you're sitting down in the front rows, it's almost like it's real intimate, it's almost like you're part of the play yourself, almost, not quite, obviously, but there were a couple of times when some of the players, came out into the audience, or at least was down there in the front row. And at the beginning of the play, Rosa, they were talking about Roxanne. I mean, she's I guess you could say in today's vernacular, she's the hottie, and that every guy wants Roxanne, and she's standing up on the balcony and they talk about her and they're looking up at her and that kind of thing, and it's just, that was pretty good. But another thing that was neat about it too, is that the sound system is just superb. I mean, they were all wearing microphones, of course, but it was just you could hear everything clearly. There was a lot of movement in the play. It was really, really cool. The stage is fairly big. I mean, it's bigger than the stage I was used to there in that one playhouse I used to go to there in southwestern Virginia. It probably rivals the Playhouse in London that I went to when I went to see Cats. But it's got like it's almost like a coat of arms, not a coat of arms, but something like that above the stage, up near the ceiling. And it's a kind of a light painted, walls and stuff like that, so just really nice. So
tell us about the scenery.
The scenery on that picture on the right was excellent. But when I say that, I'm talking about Rosa.
I'm sure about this. But flip the photography.
Oh, where you can read Pasadena Playhouse, you mean?
Yeah, so we have the
idea.
right angle to the
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
No, tell us about the scenery. Is it changing, or was it always the same scenery? Or
well, they didn't have what they did do is they had this sign, kind of like a neon sign that they would bring down from the ceiling that said, and I'm going to butcher this name because it's French, even though my last name is French. I speak very little, but it's called the Cafe Renault or something like that. Oh, I can't buy it. I'm butchering that. What is this right here? Please tell us about the selfish you get with Rosa. I don't want to be selfish with Rosa. She's our queen. I mean, we all, we all want her. That's for sure. And all I can tell you is that she's really sweet and a good person. That's all I can tell you about that. And very pretty. Her pictures on the internet and stuff, they don't do her justice. I'm telling you, she is really a pretty lady. But I got sidetracked there, Smendrick. You were telling me, the scenery. Yeah, it's the courtyard outside's pretty cool. The courtyard's outside where the entrance is. And there were a couple of vendors out there, selling, I can't remember what it was. I didn't buy anything, but, something to do with the playhouse and stuff like that, and I think there was a guy on the right as you go in. He was selling, I think they were selling wine or something like this, maybe, not sure, and it's it's almost like it's a Spanish looking thing, to me, but I am no architectural genius, that's for sure. So I could be way off on that, What is this, Alejandro? I hope this play will be filmed for the planet of admirers of Rosa. Yes, yes, I do too, man. Rosa's super. So anyway, and that's pretty much it. It's in the city of Pasadena. I can tell you this. I had my grandparents used to live in Pasadena years ago when I was a little boy. We'd go visit them, because part of my upbringing was in Southern California, and y'all don't hold that against me. I'm actually a Floridian. I'm not a Coloradan or a North Carolinian or a Californian. I'm a Floridian, but it's changed a lot since I was a kid, as you can probably imagine. But it is in the city of Pasadena, you know, and it's pretty nice. You know, it's it's set nice. It's a very inviting place, you know, to go to, you know.
Okay, I let you fly around, but my understanding of scenery is on the stage.
Oh,
Don't care about it.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, you don't need to spoiler, but is this a changing scenery?
They do some of that. Yeah, they have one, I guess, one scene where you see this guy Christian and Cyrano. They're in the French army, and they had this one scene on the stage where they had a bunch of you know, like I guess like cots, not cots, but the kind of makeshift bed type thing where you could put a cot on it. I'm not sure what I can't remember what you call those things. They had that. They would have, like, for instance, at one point they had like what looked to be like a cart, like, you know, they were simulating a kitchen, you know, but it's not scenery like you would think of in a high school play or something like that, you know, because that focus is on the actors, you know, and they're
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really, really good. You know, what is this, bad man? The word is supposed to be selfie, not selfish. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's right. Please tell us about the selfie you got with Rosa. Well, it's just not much to say, you know.
Come on,
well, you know,
Speaks for itself.
Well, yeah, it does speak for itself. I mean, I didn't mind hugging her, I can tell you that. But I held the camera basically, you know, with my right hand, and that's why you don't see the little Alita Army logo, because she's kind of resting her head, you know, like almost on my shoulder, you know, sort of almost, and she's covering it up, so you can't see it, you know. But yeah, it's just held the camera out, you know, and, you know, had it, you know, had the old reverse on it and was holding it out there, and she's smiling, you know. So anyway, I actually got 2 selfies, but I'm going to keep one for myself. I'm not going to let that one out on the internet. So I'm not letting that one out on the internet. But yeah, that was basically all it was. I mean, you know, she smiled. She's got a prettiest smile. Good God, you know. Can you see, guys, why all of us in the Alita Army just absolutely love Rosa? I mean, she is just great, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm rambling again. You guys, come on. You want to talk about something else? Because I'd talk about Rosa the whole stream if you want me to. I mean, you know.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
It's all about her. It's all about our queen.
Well, it is all about her. I mean, she is wonderful. You know, I'm going to go in more detail on Radio Chaos tomorrow because we're going to have a report.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I'm not going to put everything we talked about on it because some of it's in confidence, you know. But you know, it's I'll give folks a really good you know, lay down of what we talked about and stuff like that, you know. But not give away any confidential stuff she told me. I don't want to do that, you know. So
no, but
yeah.
A little bit hope.
Yes, hope is the main thing.
Yeah.
Hope. Yeah, that's right.
That's all we need to know, and the picture speaks for itself, as Angela says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, remember when she was at WonderCon 2022, she said her and James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez and John Landau, they were trying like hell to get a sequel. They're still working on it. You know, they haven't forgotten it. You know, they have not, you know. So they're still going for it, you know. So but that's all I want to say about that. So
yeah, that's important to know. That's why we are here.
Yep.
And yeah. Thanks, Creaky, for sharing.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. And like I say, it was for me. It was like I told Charlie. I said, "Man, this is a day of days." So yeah, it was really nice. It was just a super experience, And yeah, she is.
Hopefully, Charlie will tell us a little bit about his experience and.
Well, I hate to say this, I probably hogged her more than Charlie did get to talk to her as much as I did. But he did talk to her a pretty good while. She was out there with us a long time. She just really seemed to enjoy talking to us. So it was great. So
nice, really nice.
You bet. Okay, anything else, guys? Or else the creek will ramble another 30 minutes if y'all aren't careful.
I will have to log off for about 10-15 minutes. I need to pick up something from my mum's unit, but then I'll be back online to discuss the pros and cons.
Yeah, when we get to the main topic, I tried to get Dan or Ox King to come on, and he's he's, as you guys probably all know him, he's an OG Alita Army member. He has a kid now, and he doesn't have as much free time. His wife, I guess, works late on Fridays or something like that. I'm not sure, but he was keen about it coming on, but he said, "No, I can't do it, man. I got to watch my kid and stuff like that." So, and that's good. He didn't say he had to watch his kid. He just said he was he had something like his plate was too full, or he had too much to do, or weekday. He said weekdays were too difficult for him, or something like that. But I am going to send him a link to the Radio Chaos stream tomorrow. So, Angelus, you can update the show notes with that. I'm going to invite Ox King. So.
That's nice.
Anyway, like I said, I'll be back in about anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes.
All right, no problem.
Bye, Angelus.
Okay, looks like Finn has one question. He wants the creek to ramble on some more, I guess. Have you asked Rosa whether she would come to on Radio Chaos stream? That would be awesome. Yeah, I did talk to her about that, and she got off the internet, I guess, back in 2020, maybe, or 2021, early 2021, or whatever. Now I didn't go into particulars with her, because from what I've heard about it, just from the rumor mill, of course, is that it was a pretty tough thing, and I guess she just didn't want to put up with it, So, but I did, I invited her not only on the Radio Chaos stream, I invited her on this stream as well. I mean,
was she getting harassed a lot or something?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't go into that detail with her, but she did say that, I'm not on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that anymore. And she said something to the effect that, that social media is like, it's like a cesspool or something. She didn't say that, but it was something to that effect, and I said, yeah, I understand it. I said, the only reason I'm on X right now is because of the Alita Army. That's the only reason, or else I wouldn't be on X more than likely, So, so if it wasn't for Alita, I probably wouldn't even have a YouTube channel, So, but yeah, we talked about that for a time, but she didn't rule it out. She's, well, I'll think about it, or something to that effect. I don't recall exactly what it was. Because for me, when I talked to her, even though we talked a while, to me it was like it went by in 30 seconds. I mean, it was,
Yeah, I'm sure about this.
It was. So anyway,
I suspect she's probably going to be a little busy to be doing something like that. But
yeah, she's pretty busy right now, I bet you. So
that's good. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
hopefully she'll eventually start getting busy and they start getting a sequel going.
Nah, that's the plan. That's what they want to do. So, and I was on a stream not on the stream, but I was in the chat. I know some of these guys, and one of them said, well, Rosa's, older now than she was when the stream, when the movie came out, and all that. And I said, on the chat, I said, well, Sigourney Weaver's 70 years old, and she played a teenager. So I mean, yeah, that has no bearing on anything. And I'll tell you, Rosa is really in good shape. She is trim. She is petite. She is really, really cute. So let's get off of that, because the creek will creek will go off the deep end again if we don't. So,
no, stop. Now we want to hear the details.
No, we can't do that. So,
Damn.
But I'll just say she is really pretty. She is so pretty,
Thanks again, Creaky, for sharing this with us.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I certainly don't have anything to measure up to that. That's a pretty big deal. So.
Yeah, it was fun. That's for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go into a little more detail, tomorrow, without me giving away any confidence that she, anything she confided in me, So
that's the most important thing. We have to keep her
trust.
Yeah,
that's right.
We are not as the usual fandoms, I think. There are a lot of wonderful fandoms. I'm not in those fandoms, but few are a little bit toxic, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah,
when we heard about this DC extended universe or things like that, we even have documentaries about this in the German television. Yeah, this is it's difficult.
Yeah. Yes, that was the first time I met her in real life, Ben, for sure. That's for sure. What is this right here? Yeah, that X-Men 577. That's kind of what I heard as well. X-Men 577. That they were harassing her, from what I understand, but they were also harassing the Alita army in general. So it's social media can be a piece of shit, that's for sure. But anytime I get any guff from anybody on it, I just get back in their face. I don't put up with that crap. Pretty much. I mean, I'm tolerant to a degree, but I mean, anybody says,
yeah, I don't want to go too much into the details, but even on Blue Sky, we had a strange discussion about our campaigns and our projects, and you know what, but the weird discussion was ended by me. And the Blue Sky moderators, I think they blocked the guy. So you have it everywhere. It's like in real life.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, you can be anonymous in the social media, but I think it's the same in real life.
I think so. It can be,
It's a mirror of society.
Well, maybe, but except people sometimes they seem to be braver when they're behind the keyboard than when they're in your face.
Okay, maybe. But you have to be also careful if you are not such a strong person as you are.
I don't.
such a powerful oh God, I forgot the English expression. An experience, an appearance. Appearance
Here,
is the
okay.
word.
Yeah.
If you don't have a strong appearance, I look weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful in real life too.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome,
Oh,
Chaos Nova.
Chaos. Hello.
Welcome, Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio. I think you're muted there, Chaos.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just wrapping up here. I keep regaling these guys with how pretty Rosa is and how well she did in the play and all that stuff. So, and I keep rambling. So they keep encouraging me to do it. So, but we got to move on here at some point.
All right.
So, yeah. So, what's happening on your channel there, Chaos?
I'll get around to editing the next video I was going to make about Zalem. So,
Cool. Okay.
I hope you found that other one last time to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I did. I watched that one. That was that's a good video. Yeah, I did see that video. Yeah.
Oh wait, what am I thinking? It was on our stream. We put it on the stream for last.
Yeah, it was on the stream. That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's where I saw it. Yeah, I knew I saw it. So yeah, we played it on the stream. I guess was that last week or week before? I can't. No, it couldn't have been last week because
you were out there then. So
yeah,
the week before last week.
Yeah, it was week before last. That's right. So.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, much to Smendrick's dismay, I'm going to move off this slide because we got a really pretty picture in the upper right-hand corner. It ain't that ugly old guy up there. It's that pretty lady that's beside him there. So I'm going to move on from that. We can sit here and look at our queen all day.
No, this guy, look at him. He's a member of the Alita army.
That's right.
Maybe you have heard about that.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But he's one of us.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I saw some posts on X, about, is Alita, Jesus, is Rosa aware of us? And it might have been, no, it wasn't on Discord. It was on X, I think.
Now you can answer with this picture for the rest of your.
Well, evidently that picture's always made it all the way over to Facebook, and I didn't put anything on Facebook about it. So anyway, so it's kind of going all over the place, I guess. But yeah, I responded. It might have been on Instagram that when I saw the picture, and I think it might have been a reply, does Rosa know about us or something? And I said, yes, she does. She knows about us and she loves us. She does. She really does. So, okay, let me move off, guys. I will sit here and ramble my ass off about Rosa all day, and we're going to have to move on. And as I said, before, I did tell her that we have the bust, and she really appreciated that. Now we're going to work on the details of getting it to her. I mean, she's kind of busy right now, so one of my plans was to drive this down to LA and then, maybe present it to her, but that wouldn't have been appropriate. I mean, she's so freaking busy with that play that, she's not going to be able to, allocate time for this, so,
yeah,
but
this must be a separate
I
event.
think so.
Yeah.
And we're working on the details. We'll get it to her eventually. I mean, it's there's really no rush to get it to her. So she knows I got it, and she knows that we want to give it to her. Not give it to her, because I told her this isn't a gift. This is a, we want to present it to you, kind of thing. So but anyway. So anyway, that we're working on that one. We'll get it to her eventually, And we still got the Alita sequel petition going, and I think we only added like 3 from last week or 4, maybe, I can't recall. but it keeps plugging along every week, a few signatures every week. So if anybody, if anyone has not signed the petition, please do so. This is our way of helping Rosa and Cameron and Rodriguez, helping them, to convince Disney, that, that, hey, there's a lot of people in the Alita army. And I think also when I showed Rosa my channel on the phone, on my phone, she was amazed at how many subscribers I had. So, that was the little tidbits like this, that help tell Disney, hey, we got a lot of people that want to see a sequel, and you will make money on this. Some of the movies they put out in the recently have just been utter failures, and if they want to make money, they need to do an Alita sequel, and they need to do the sequels because it's my belief. Now, Rosa didn't tell me anything about this, but it's my belief that James Cameron will probably take a more active role. Not that he's going to take it away from Robert Rodriguez. I don't think that's the case, but I think he's going to be involved a little bit more. That's my gut feeling, And if it tie his name to that, from the person that gave you these, 3 movies that made over $2 billion each, certainly this thing's going to make money, more money than the first one, So, and as good as the first movie was the Creek has probably seen the first movie 80 times at least. The sequel, with the technology being changing and having the same actors like Rosa and Ed Skrein and what's his name plays Ito, I guess. Gosh, I can't remember his name. He was in Django.
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz. That's right. God, my brain went sideways.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah. And of course, my belief, once again, Rosa didn't tell me anything about this one, but my belief is the sequel will be the Motorball arc and the Zerkerpan arc. That's what I think it's going to be, but we'll see, So anyway, if you have not signed the petition, please go do so. And you future people that are going to see this stream after we sign off here, then of course, you sign that petition. All you got to do is put your name and email address and you've signed the petition. If you want to give money, you can. I know I told Vladi I was going to, promote the movie myself, because I have promoted the movie on my channel, but I think this might be better, by putting a little money in where you click on support now, because they promote it, and they probably do a little better job than the Creek can do, so, but anyway, sign that thing and let's help Rosa and Jim Cameron and James Cameron rather, and Robert Rodriguez. Let's help them, in what ways we can, so, and we got the Alita Gaming Network, that's something that's going over on Discord, and we got 30. We're still in the infant stages here. It's only been up and going for a couple of months, so there's not a lot of folks on it. Very intimate though, we got 30 members on here, and we watched Alita Battle Angel on the watch party. You see where it says watch party. We watched that. When was that, Smendrick? That was a week ago Monday, wasn't it?
Oh man, I have so many watch parties and so many reviews here for myself. I don't know. Here it is, maybe 3 days ago I saw it for the last time. I really cannot remember all the viewings I have, all my own watch parties here for myself. It's
Alejandro, I definitely was in heaven in that picture for sure. And Finn says, "Damn true there, Alejandro." Yes, indeed. Let's see.
I would love to have the watch party with you tomorrow, but
Well,
It's
yeah,
a very, very large distance.
well, I got a lot to do tomorrow too. So but Monday is not out, out of the question. We could watch something.
Nah,
I was going to watch.
I mean your IMAX view tomorrow.
Oh, you mean here? Yeah, we're probably not going to do that because Lee can't make it, and then and Alita Rave hasn't been able to respond lately because he does travel a lot. So
Okay.
do not stand by was ready to go, but I think I'll send him a note saying we're going to postpone, do it another day, and I'll ask the
Man, you cannot postpone those watch parties.
Well, if I'm the only one here, the watch party is going to be me.
I wouldn't care about.
I watch Alita all the time. Every time I take a cross country flight, I watch Alita on my tablet.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a really, really never boring movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
I was going to do Aliens on the Watch Party channel there, but one of the problems was that I would have had to kind of stream it, I guess, from YouTube, and they pretty much they frown on anybody that plays movies. Yeah, so you don't want to do that.
We did Fist of the North Star, where we have something that's copyright free playing on the stream, but we're commenting on it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we certainly were talking about it when we watched Alita, so so that's pretty cool, But we're going to come up with something. We'll do another watch party, and I'll put some posts out on social media so you guys can, anybody can join it. Now, if you want to join the network, there's the link right there. And the thing about it's good for 7 days, but it only works once. So if you click on it and it doesn't work for you, just send me a DM or something, and I'll send you an invite, a separate invite, and you can join that way. So, but we do a lot of cool stuff, on there. It's a lot of fun. I know we got Panini Freak and Random Bomb on there. That's our Alita Army's AR-11 and AR-12, Elf and Swerf.
Yeah.
So they're on there. So we have fun with them as well. They're pretty cool, Okay, on to the main topic. So what we want to come up with or try to figure out is what a possible outcome would be if Alita was to fight Android 18. Now, I'm not going to go through all of Alita's bodies because we'll be here till midnight if I do that. So I picked two bodies now of the super powered bodies now, and one could make the case that the Toon body is pretty good, but it's not as powerful as the Berserker body. So of the bodies that I would consider really powerful, I mean, certainly say more powerful than the Toon body, because the Toon body is powerful. There's no doubt about it. But I would say just above that, the weakest of the bodies would be the Berserker body, and the strongest of the bodies would be the Imaginos 2.1 body. Okay. But before that, in case you don't know who Android 18 is, we're going to kind of go over her profile a little bit, and talk about what her capabilities are. Now, I was kind of hoping Den would join us because he's our DragonBallZ, aficionado. And once again, he has a kid now, so he can't, I guess he has to take care of them, and he's real busy on the weekdays, so he couldn't make it, but I know a little bit about it because I have seen some of Android 18, because Den and I have, up to a couple of years ago, Den and I would actually watch DragonBallZ after this stream. We'd stay on, and even after Den's stream, when he was streaming, we watched Android 18 after that, and so I got to see Android 18. Now, I don't know her that well, or maybe as well as I should, perhaps, because I don't really watch a lot of anime, I just don't. I watch.
We have to plan a watch party about Android 18.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That I have no problem with that, Smendrick.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, we're going to go over her profile, and then we're going to talk a little about a fight she had with a character named Vegeta. Now, Vegeta is a Saiyan, and he's kind of like Goku. As a matter of fact, it depends on, what period you are in the Dragon Ball, whether Goku's stronger than Vegeta or not. I would say they're roughly the same, but that's just my take on it. I might be wrong about that. But I do think Goku is, for the most of the time, he's more powerful than Vegeta, but Vegeta's pretty freaking bad. He's like I say, he is a Saiyan, and we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to review a little bit about the profile of Alita in the Berserker body, and we're going to review a little bit about the profile of Alita in the Imaginos 2.1 body. Those two bodies are pretty powerful themselves, and then we're going to just kind of analyze it. We're going to go through a scenario for each one of these fights, and then just come up with some kind of composite analysis or estimate at the end to see who's going to win. And I got a special treat for Angelus. I hope he comes back before we get to there on that one. So, and we're going to see who's going to win between these two, and in a lot of ways, they're kind of similar, in some ways, and they're different in others, obviously. Chaos, you know a little bit about Android 18, don't you?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I'm like, you're like me, I guess. Lee, you said you didn't know anything about Android 18.
I know that she's called Android 18. That's it.
That's
So that, and I heard something that apparently, due to a mistranslation, she's not actually an android. She's apparently a cyborg, I guess.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get to it then. Yeah, she's actually a cyborg, but she's not a total replacement cyborg. She's mostly human. But she does have some, I guess you would say, technological or cybernetic, kind of upgrades to her. And she was put together, or some of these technology implants, or whatever you want to call these things, by a guy named Dr. Gero or something like that. I can't remember now, but she's not an android, because when they originally, translated Dragon Ball Z from Japanese to English, they translated the word in Japanese. It was, I guess, was going to be cyborg, or maybe they didn't have a good translation, and they called it an android. So she's not an android. She is an organic critter for the most part. But she does have some pretty cool technological, kind of upgrades, that's kind of integrated into her body. She has superhuman strength, and that is supplied to her by something called a small perpetual energy reactor. So in a way, it's kind of like Alita's heart, where she has that antimatter microreactor heart. Now, I don't know much about this reactor. I don't know what's in it, but it's essentially, functionally, it's a pretty similar thing. She is extremely durable. I mean, she can take attacks and just brush them off, from pretty powerful beings. And she's a true badass, herself, Now, she is fast, but I don't know how fast she really is. My sense is that she may be hypersonic. Not sure about this. There's Angelus trying to get back in here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there, Angelus.
Hello.
Yeah, and that's true, Finn. Android 18 can. Well, let me get to it, but yeah, she has some kind of directed energy attacks, but she can also shoot energy projectiles as well. Now, I don't know if it's plasma or not. Might be. I have no idea, but she does have the ability to project energy, as an attack. And the fact that she has this small perpetual energy reactor, she has inexhaustible energy and stamina. I mean, she can literally fight for days and not be tired, not break a sweat. That's how badass she is, And like I said, she can do directed energy attacks, either projectiles or, some form of energy field of sorts. Now, I'm not sure about her technology, if it's alien technology or not. It could be, because in Dragon Ball Z, there's aliens all over the place. So, I know Piccolo's an alien as an example, and the Saiyans are aliens and so forth. Frieza is an alien. And what I can tell you is she's an extremely good fighter, and we're going to get to that as well. Just a side note here is that Krillin, she's actually Krillin's wife. Now, in case you don't know who Krillin is, he's a human, and he's how she meets Krillin is when she fights Vegeta. Vegeta is a Saiyan, and he, in a lot of ways he's kind of like Goku. And I guess Android 18 and her brother Android 17, and I think there was either an Android 16. I can't remember if it was 16 or 19. I can't remember which. Kind of a big muscular android, I guess, or cyborg actually is what they were. But anyway, her and Vegeta got into it when Android 17 and 18 encountered Vegeta and Krillin. And basically, Android 18 beat the holy crap out of Vegeta. And Vegeta, as you can see in some of those, panels down there on the bottom of the screen there, he was in Saiyan mode when she did this. In other words, the Saiyans now, I think this is a while back, maybe in Dragon Ball Z. I am not sure about that, But now I think they got like 13 levels of Saiyan or something like that. But anyway, he powered up, Vegeta did. I don't know to what level of Saiyan he was, but it gives them a lot of extra fighting ability and power and strength and stuff like that, and it didn't matter. She beat the holy crap out of him. I mean, and she beat him really bad, and then she just stepped on him, So he was utterly defeated. Then after she pretty much, put him, now she didn't kill him, but she beat him up pretty bad, Then she starts approaching Krillin, and Krillin's, I don't know if you guys have seen Krillin, but he's kind of a short guy. He's a human. He's bald-headed, and he wears like an orange gi or something like that, like karate people wear. And she starts approaching him, and he's like, oh my God, she's going to kill me, stuff like that. And she kisses him. And then her and Android 17 take off, and he was like, what was that, kind of thing. Angelus, you know a little bit more about Android 18 than I do, I think, don't you?
Oh, probably. Why? What's up?
Well, I just was trying to figure out, when we were back on this slide right here, I wasn't sure about some of this stuff. I mean, this is from what I remember, and I actually did some research on the internet as well, but does that seem like pretty much in line with what you know about Android 18?
Aside from the fact that I think it's still technically human technology, it all pretty much lines up.
Yeah, she's more of a cyborg and she's not a total replacement cyborg either. She's she has some pretty significant like implants or something like that, so she, basically she's, she's just, well, she's you could almost say she's like an enhanced human, is what you can really say about her. So anyway, as I was saying, she just literally beat the holy crap out of Vegeta, and he's a pretty powerful Saiyan. He's, he's like Goku level, and she just tore him to bits. And it was just really funny, Goku thought, oh, I'm just going to beat up on this little girl, and that didn't work. It kind of like the same thing that some opponents think about Alita. She's just a little girl. I'm going to beat her up, wrong. So anyway, but she's a true badass is what she is, Now, Den, Angelus and I would get into this thing with Den when he was streaming. And even when he came on our stream, about who was the best waifu, and he said he liked Android 18 because, you know, she is a mother, you know, she has a kid with Krillin. And, but we would say, nope, Alita's the best waifu. Stuff like that, you know, so we'd have fun with that one. So, but anyway, like I say, she's pretty potent, you know, she's a good fighter. She has a lot of stamina and strength and power, you know, she's a great fighter. So, and there you can see she's delivering a kick to Vegeta there on the right. He's got that Saiyan level power going, and she still beat the crap out of him. So, any questions about Android 18 or anything you guys want to add? If you know anything that that my pitiful knowledge about her is.
Yeah, Creaky, you are sometimes gave us an impression that you understand fighting technologies. What do you think Android 18 does it different from, or how does it differ between Android 18 and Alita?
Well, we're going to get to that. We can certainly discuss that because I got.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. You know, yeah, and again, I don't. You know, I was kind of Angelus and I were kind of hoping Dan would come on, you know, so he could really take us through it, you know, but you know, he's not able to do that. So, but anyway, yeah, that's right, Finn. Well, first time she was an android, I believe Krillin wishes the Dragon Balls and she made her human. Okay, who did we lose? We lost Chaos. But anyway, well, I don't know about understanding fighting technologies. I mean, I am a black belt in karate, but I don't really train in karate anymore. So I do understand karate, I think, if that's what you were referring to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, I you know, I still know the techniques. I mean, I like say Angelus is going to be a better person to ask than I am, even though I'm a first degree black belt. And Angelus, what are you? Are you a first degree, or are you second degree, or what? Are you?
One step below.
Oh, you're like a you're like a black belt trainee or something. Is that? I think it varies from style to style. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
so like it's a base or provisional or
okay. Okay.
Angelus and Greek. Could we agree that the fighting technology depends on the character of the, I don't know how to express this in English, of the character itself?
I think what you mean is the fighting techniques.
Techniques.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, not the technology. Sorry.
No, it's okay. The techniques themselves, you know, there are a whole bunch of different martial arts styles, and even boxing is a martial art for that matter. And then you got judo and jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and savate, and you know, there's, you know, a whole bunch of styles of kung fu, a whole bunch of styles of karate. I mean, there's just a bunch of different techniques on them, but there are also a lot of techniques that are the same, you know, like a side kick as an example, or a front kick. A front kick is a front kick is a front kick. Now, some styles will call a front kick something different, like in Kenpo karate, which is what I was in. And I'm not talking about that American Kenpo either. I'm talking about the Kenpo that came from Asia through Okinawa and then Hawaii, and then not the American Kenpo, but we called a front kick a fast kick. You know, that's what we called it, but it's a front kick basically, you know. And for instance, like in that mirror punch scene that Alita's in, that what she does a lot of different kind of forms looking things like kata is what we call, or what we called as, we just called them dances, but like that one technique, it was the chain punch, and I think I saw an interview, I think one time, where Rosa said something that was a Bruce Lee, kind of thing, and then of course she did a kung fu move where she did a technique called snake creeps down. That's the one where she kind of squats on one foot and has the other leg out, and then she's kind of doing her arms, a certain way. So, and she did some inward and outward blocks and stuff like that, so, and for instance, I think Angelus, were you in Kyokushin karate, Angelus, or Shotokan, or what were you in? What are you in? So
The style that I train in is a combination of Shotokan and Goju-Ryu.
oh, okay, Goju-Ryu, yeah, Goju-Ryu, yeah, that's a good style too, by the way. But to your point, Smendrick, the style is important, but more so it's the person. I mean, you could get a person that knows one style that doesn't practice and doesn't take it serious, and you get another person that really trains hard and they take it serious and they're dedicated to it. They'll probably beat the other person up. So, there are some styles that are better than others, but it's not by a lot, and of course there's like Muay Thai is another one, and
Yeah, I think we go into the right direction.
Okay.
What I'm interested in is, I saw this in Kill Bill. The main character
Okay.
learned to use these, you called the right term, you used the right term, techniques.
Yeah.
You can place a technique at the right time with the wrong power, and vice versa. So the technique shows, in some cases, I think, more or says more about the person, more about the fighter than he can explain himself or herself to others. You can see how they are fighting, and then about the character.
Yeah, well, there's a scene in the movie, The Matrix. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Matrix Revolutions, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's where the Chinese guy had Neo confronts him, and then they kind of go through a few fighting. They fight each other for a while, and Neo says, "Why didn't you just tell me, that you were the Oracle's person or whatever?" And he says, "You never truly know a person until you fight them." That's movie stuff, obviously, because you don't need to fight somebody to know them, but to a degree, you're right. I mean, if someone is not very adept at fighting and they fight somebody that's extremely, proficient at it, it won't take long for that proficient fighter to, know that this person is not going to be very good, or they're going to find weaknesses and things like that, so I think that's the whole thing. And that's another thing about Android 18 too. She is very adept at this kind of fighting, and the thing about it too is that, you have to, if you fight somebody, of course, that can be a very scary thing, particularly if the person's like bigger than you are or something like that. you know, and maybe they're, who knows what they're real boisterous or whatever they are, you know, they're bullies or whatever they are. The idea about fighting, though, and Angelus, you probably have experienced this too, but with me, when I would spar, you know, back in the day when we'd spar full contact, you know, and you get out there and you're sparring and you're using the techniques that you have, that you know, which, by the way, kata, you don't, when you do kata, you don't, that's not fighting. That just teaches you the moves. You know, the fighting is different. You really don't know how to fight till you get hit in the face. But that's my opinion. But basically, to me, it was a delicious thing. You know, it was the discipline, you know, out there when you're sparring with somebody that's really good, you know, it's just delicious. You know, that's the best way I can explain it. You know, I guess it's just like something, it's almost, I wouldn't say a high, but it's just something that's just, it gets in your soul somehow. Is that, did you experience anything like that, Angelus?
Oh, wait, mic muted.
Yep.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is.
I guess you have to experience it for yourself. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I fall short trying to tell you with words, because when I say delicious, it's almost like you're not afraid to get hit or kicked. You know, you're just doing what you're doing, you know, and you do it, you know, and you're enjoying it. You know, that I guess that's about the best way I can explain it, you know, without, it's just something you do have to experience, you know, I guess, like Angelus says. So, but anyway, that's Android 18 in a nutshell. She's pretty damn powerful. She's a badass for sure, as you can see from here, you know, from those capabilities right there, particularly with that inexhaustible energy and stamina. She can literally go on for who knows how long, indefinitely, you know, and of course that small perpetual energy reactor she has gives her tremendous strength. And that's probably why she's able to beat the crap out of Vegeta right here. And he's a Saiyan with powered up to some Saiyan level. And she still just freaking destroys him, just beats the holy crap out of him, you know. And he was no match for her whatsoever, you know. So, but anyway, and he's pretty powerful himself. Okay, well, let's talk about Alita now. Now, you've seen, you know, various versions of this, but we'll go over it pretty quickly. Yes, Alita is a total replacement cyborg and in a berserker body, and her antimatter microreactor heart gives her superhuman strength, because I believe I remember one time calculating that she can bench press 3,200 pounds just based on, and that's probably a minimum. You from the movie, you can't really tell. The fact that I was able to estimate that Gatling gun, or cannon actually, just from what I know about the GAL-19, and Lee, you can chime in here too if you want. The GAL-19, I forget how much it weighs, but you know, I kind of took the dimensions of it and kind of the configuration, and you know, tried to find likenesses and how big the Gatling cannon was she was holding. And I estimated that Gatling cannon weighed 600 pounds, and she picked it up with one hand and fired it for 2 seconds. You know, I mean, that is tremendous strength. That tells me that she can curl at least 600 pounds and do multiple reps, you know, of that, you know. And then, of course, judging from what I know about powerlifting, you know, what you can curl, you can kind of estimate what somebody can bench press, you know, and I figured she could bench press 3,200 pounds. And if you want to figure out what that is in kilograms, you got to divide 2.205 into it. So anyway, she has a pretty damn good durability here. And a lot of that's due to her ability to self-heal. You remember when Gerwishka punctured her with the grind cutters, she healed within 5 seconds. You know, I mean, that one scene where she's standing there looking at her side, and you could see her side repairing itself, you know. Mm-hmm. Now, speed. Now, this is mostly from the manga right here. in the movie, we only saw one place where she's in the berserker body where she's really running, and you really can't tell how fast she can run because she was having to change directions, jump, spin around, duck, stuff like that. So you really couldn't. I mean, I kind of estimated her average speed there was about 125 miles an hour, but that would be, in the manga, she can run at Mach 6.5. So that's nearly 7 times the speed of sound. Now that is pretty fucking fast right there. Her her reflexes are awesome. She deflected that bullet. I calculated that was, she would have to have no greater than a 40 millisecond reaction time to be able to do that. And she probably has to be faster than that. And Lee, what do you reckon that bullet was, or that gun that was shown? Was that like a 30 caliber or 50 caliber? What was that, you think?
I've been trying to figure that out based on the casings that were coming out of it, because the barrel, I don't get a very good look at the diameter of it, but probably at least a 7.62 millimeter. Yeah,
probably. Now the Gatling cannon was a different one, and I at one point,
the Gal 19 is a 12.7 millimeter. That's a
that's
monster.
right. Yeah, it's
and they make it in 3 and 6 barrel fit configurations.
Yeah, that's right. And that Gatling cannon, she was just hauling around like it weighed.
That's the thing. Based on the size of the cartridge of the brass coming out of it, it didn't look like it was a cannon, but heavy machine gun caliber.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, so not quite 50 caliber.
Well, what I did was, and I was probably off on this, I looked at the barrel and tried to compare the barrel. I said, okay, I know how tall Alita is. She's 4'11" or 1.5 meters. And I said, okay, the barrel, compared to her this way, and then putting it up against the Gal 19, and I really overestimated. I thought it was 100 caliber, so it can't be that big. So that'd be a 1-inch bullet.
That's why I went off of the brass, because the casings coming out, they'll give you a much better idea of how big the bullet that is fired out of those casings is.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, her reflexes are stupid fast, even in a berserker body. And she does have extraordinary stamina. I think in the novelization, when Zapan was chasing Hugo, I think not Lita Kalogridis, Pat Cadigan said that cyborgs can run until their legs fall off or something like that, So she has that kind of stamina. And of course, that antimatter microreactor heart gives her the energy to have that kind of stamina. Now, in her case here, she's got advanced nanotechnology. Now, we're starting to come up with, the kind of the basis or theory or whatever you want to call it for nanotech. Now we're just barely getting into it. Think about this. They can do some neat things now, on a small scale, but this is 500 years in the future. Think about that. That's there's probably no telling what the capability is there.
Well, the time of the war, I think, was what,
200 years. Yeah. So,
but even that, 2 centuries. You look at what was it? Maxey. He was talking about the time from the first automobile up to what we have now is about like a human lifetime.
Yeah.
There are people that, for at least recently anyway, were still alive who were born around the time the first Model T came off the line.
Yep.
So, that short of a period, just that period of time, we made massive advances. So you get another 2 centuries on top of that, and who knows what we'll have.
Yeah, I remember the Model T. It was a good car.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, though. Well, think about it like this, too. Think about guns now. Now, think about the gun that would be somebody like a military guy would be carrying around in 1824.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a muzzle loader. One shot, you might get 3 shots a minute off in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't have near the potent power behind it that modern weaponry has now, So, yeah, you're right. 200 years. I'm not sure we can even imagine what nanotech would look like in 200 years. You know, I mean, that's why sometimes when people compare her to Iron Man has some pretty neat nanotech now, and he's pretty good. But even that nanotech is not as good as Alita's.
Yeah.
You know, so but anyway, it's another story. And certainly she can self-modify, and this is subconscious. She doesn't have to, like, and of course part of that's the healing as well. She doesn't have to think about it, you know. Like say in the DCU, Cyborg has to, you know, intentionally, like in that one scene, he had to put his leg back on, you know, and he had to do it himself, you know. Alita doesn't have to do that. You know, I mean, if she got punctured by that grind cutter, it just healed automatically, just kind of like our autonomic nervous system would operate, you know, in humans.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Let's see, Batman, how many milliseconds does it take a gun to reach operational RPMs before it starts firing? I don't know about that, Batman. Do you know anything about this, Lee? I'm not sure.
That's the thing. They have a lot of really bad examples of minigun type weapons.
Yeah.
In computer games.
Yeah.
But if you ever see real live footage of a minigun firing,
yeah,
it's there's no comparison in video games to those things.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's like they'll often put a wind up time on it. Like it'll spin up and then begin firing. That's not how the real ones work. Second you hit the trigger, that thing is firing at full capacity. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. Back when one of my nephews was doing paintball, I came up with a design for a Gatling gun for paintball. Well, that thing would probably, if it jammed or something, you'd have paint everywhere, wouldn't you? Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, Alita in her berserker body, she heals automatically. Now humans do this too. It just takes us longer, doesn't it? She healed within like 5 seconds. Us, if we got punctured like that, we'd probably need, maybe a month to heal from something.
Well, that's
like
the thing.
that,
A flesh and blood body, if it got hit by that grind cutter the way she did, it would probably go right through a flesh and blood body.
Yeah, kind of like it did that one hunter warrior that was in the Kansas bar. Remember, he shot that out. What's happened to him? To answer your question, and then
punches a hole through him.
Yeah, that's right. So, but let's say it didn't, though. Say it didn't punch the hole all the way through you, but it just nicked her like it did there. If it did that kind of damage to you, where it'd take you a month to heal from that, more than likely. That'd be my guess. But so we do self-heal, but we ain't like cyborgs. We can't do that. That plasma weapon of hers is awesome. That thing, I've calculated that thing could go anywhere from 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit to 11,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that's pretty freaking hot, and of course she has those regulators in her systems in her body that enable her to control that, which is cool. Now in the berserker body, I say possible lightning manipulation. I mean, certainly she did in the anime when she was fighting, what's his name with the white hot palm? What is
Clive Lee.
Clive Lee, that's right. And that in the anime, she actually does, bring down lightning on him. That's what kills him. We're going to see something else about that in the Imaginos body. And she knows Panzerkunst, which is kind of like a martial arts style for cyborgs.
I think she would probably be able to do lightning manipulation because lightning is basically plasma.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she could probably do that. So I don't know. Yeah, that's why I got possible. I think she would probably do a better job of controlling lightning in this body. Perhaps, I don't know. But in her Imaginos 2.1 body, now she's an android here. You remember here she's a cyborg. Okay. Here she's an android because she's got a brain chip. She doesn't have a human brain anymore. And when she was a cyborg, she had a human brain. you know, and that's what made her a cyborg. She was 98% machine. Here, she's 100% machine, you know. She has awesome freaking strength because she has access to the singularity, which is like a wormhole. You know, she has access to that, or say like the power of a black hole. That'd be a small black hole. It wouldn't be like the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, but you know, that you know, a black hole, there's no way, or even a wormhole for that matter, there's no way to overstate how powerful it is. I mean, the power of say a wormhole or a black hole, it's so powerful that light can't even escape from it.
Well, I can't even conceive of what kind of technology would draw power off of something like that.
No kidding. You know, once again,
how do you draw power out of a singularity that sucks everything into it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I guess this is it's science fantasy, I guess, here in this case, but it does give her this awesome freaking strength. I mean, it's just unimaginable how powerful she is with that access to that, you know. And of course, her durability here is even faster than it is in the Berserker body. You remember when, now, you know, she got the Imaginos 2.0 body, and then she got, you know, kind of shredded to bits or blown to bits, you know, when she was fighting Toji, and she reassembled like quickly, you know.
I was going to real quick agree with the bad man here. He said, I still don't attribute the term android to brain chip Alita because she isn't AI. Her consciousness developed.
Yeah, that's right.
Original organic brain.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was kind of thinking, it's like I was going to kind of make a correction there. It's like, instead of saying her human brain, her organic brain, because her brain still operates and thinks in very human terms.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's why we say here, you know, we still consider her human because she has retained her human qualities, you know, I mean, for sure, you know, I mean, yeah. I don't.
Why I was going to suggest maybe going with an organic brain.
Well, her brain chip is not organic.
I mean, she doesn't have her
organic
thought brain.
Yeah.
But her
thought
way
processes,
of
that's
thinking,
right.
her consciousness is still very human.
Yes, it is. That's right. Our girl is human, even in this body. Now, she's a badass, powerful human, but she is definitely, yes, she is. Now, if you remember, I think when she got in this body, I think in the Imaginos 2.0 body, I think is the body that I think Nova put her in, I think. Is that right? He gave her a brain chip, I guess, that, or it might have been, that might even have been from the Imaginos 1.0 body. I'm not sure, but I don't remember. But her brain can process information extremely fast. I mean, it'd probably be, you know, who knows, orders of magnitude faster than modern computers today, you know. So, I mean, and what that does for her is that she can come up with scenarios in her head, like millions of, when she's fighting somebody, come up with millions of scenarios in her head in like a few milliseconds, you know, and then figure out which one is the best way to go to beat this opponent. Or she can adapt and use, you know, one scenario here, and when things kind of work out a different way, then she can, you know, pick up where that one left off in another scenario, you know, that kind of thing. Now, the speed thing, this is that one thing we did talk about this a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, even that this was that thing that was retconned, I guess. But, you know, but even, you know, even if we don't say she has relativistic speed, she still is pretty freaking fast. I mean, I guess the Berserker body can run fast. Well, this body is going to run faster than that, but we're going to go with the retcon version of this, where she runs at near, you know, at speeds approaching light, you know, because that's what I guess Kishiro wrote in some of those side stories, you know, and that was, once again, those were retcon, but that's okay. Her reflexes, if she can run at that speed, she's got to have reflexes that are just stupid fast. I mean, as you know, I mean, because if you don't, you're going to run into buildings and you're going to run into trees and cars. And yeah,
quick,
go ahead.
Thing I couldn't remember is the wormhole that she was drawing power from in her Imaginos body,
Yeah.
was that a link to somewhere else that contained the actual wormhole, or was
God,
she...
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Bad
I
man,
can't
you're
remember
out there.
myself.
Bad man, you. See what
Yeah, because he was saying it's like energy flows off singularities all the time, which I do remember that there is radiation blasting out from them, but still trying to capture that from something so monstrously destructive like a black
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah. That I wonder if that's their technology had advanced to that level. Maybe who knows?
No, I don't doubt
You
it did.
know?
It's just trying to
Yeah.
figure out how
Now
what you
this
would do to
body,
do.
this body is 500 years in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not the berserker body. This one here is super advanced.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't remember, Lee, what that was. You might be right about that though.
Because if she was getting the energy beamed to her via some sort of, wormhole type technology or something like that, then I could see them creating some kind of a trap or containment for a microsingularity.
Yeah.
But it would be really far out there for her to have this microsingularity contained within her body.
Yeah.
Also mean that if she died, it would kill a lot of people around her too.
That's right. I bet it'd be really hard to kill her.
Okay. It's the wormhole reactor draws power from the Jupiter dynamo, which is located on the...
Okay. Okay, I got you. Yeah. That's still pretty freaking powerful. Jupiter's pretty freaking big.
Yeah.
The troposphere, I mean, what does he put, like, how many million Earths can you put in Jupiter? I don't remember.
If I remember correctly, in high school, they had a thing on that. It was like
Yeah.
Jupiter had the volume to contain 1,000 Earths.
Yeah, okay.
And the sun actually had the volume to contain 1,000 Jupiters.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. Ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
Well, she's also connected. Now, what you remember, Melchizedek got destroyed, but we're going to go ahead like we did a couple of weeks ago and connect her, say Melchizedek and that computer that was in near Jupiter. She's connected to both of them. Now, that enhances her brain chip's ability, because they can operate in a network. So who knows how fast she can process data, not just with a brain chip, but the fact she's connected to these computers, through some form of network, and of course, this one is super duper advanced nanotech. I mean, the berserker body is, like Lee was saying a while ago, is kind of like 200 years in the future. This one's 540 years in the future, or something like that. So that this body's nanotech is 340 years more advanced than the berserker body. Now, I think the Imaginos cells are based on the berserker cells, so it may not be quite that much, but it's going to be much more advanced in the berserker body. With this one, she also has self-modification, but this is subconscious, just like in a berserker body, except faster. So if she got punctured, like if she was in this body and Gerwishka punctured her, it would probably heal within maybe milliseconds.
Assuming he even be able to puncture.
Yeah, he might not be able to. That's right. She still has that plasma weapon, and she can definitely manipulate lightning in this body. So that's going to be an awesome weapon right there. And yep, she still knows Panzerkunst because, that's our girl. And that brain chip in hers retains all those mental processes and consciousness that she had when she was.
All the skills and everything she learned.
That's right. It's all going to be there for her, So, yeah, she's pretty freaking awesome in this body. Way OP. And I can see why Kishiro wrote her back, when we get into volume 7, 8, and 9 of, Martian Chronicles, well, some of 8, I guess they're still little girls, I guess. But why he depowered her a little bit, although he didn't explain how and why that happened. But anyway. So anyway, that's our girl right there in Imaginos 2.1 body. Okay. Any question about any of these bodies, not just Alita's, but even Android 18's body? I mean, all 3 of these bodies are pretty awesome. you know. Okay. Well, the thing about Android 18 is that, you know, Alita changes with her bodies. You know, I mean, she in cyborg or android bodies, I think there was a question on one of the Jeopardy, Radio Chaos Jeopardies, how many bodies has Alita been in? Something, and of course, for the cyborg / android body, she's in like 10, but she's also in a human body, so you know that'd be 11. But there's, you know, it's almost like a different version of Alita, same thought processes, but just a different physical body. Whereas Android 18 is not like that. She's just who she is, you know. So Berserker Alita. Now this is Creek's idea. You guys, y'all can say no way, Creek. You know, this is you're wrong. You know, but anyway, and that's okay. You know. So I think intelligence-wise, they're probably even. You know, they. You know, in this body, Alita's got, you know, just a pure human brain, but so does Android 18. You know, she's similar in that regard. Now, in terms of strength, this one's pretty close. You know, I think Android 18 may be a little bit stronger, but it ain't by much if it is, you know, but I kind of gave the edge to Android 18 based on what I saw her being able to overpower Vegeta even when he's in one of his Saiyan modes, you know. So that, I think that would require quite a lot of power or strength rather to be able to overcome that. And she did it with ease. I mean, he was literally no match for her whatsoever, you know. I mean, he didn't even lay a glove on her hardly, you know. In terms of durability, well, she's got that perpetual energy reactor. I think she's going to have the edge on that over Alita's antimatter microreactor in the nanotech she has. It probably isn't a whole lot, though, you know, but I think she may have the edge on that one. Now, y'all stop me if you think I'm off base on this. In terms of speed, I think Alita's got her on this one. I think Alita's, you know, the ability to run Mach 6.5. Now, once again, back on that one slide, I don't really know how fast Android 18 can run. I don't get the sense that she can run multiple times faster than sound like Alita can, you know, but she probably can run faster than the speed of sound, but I don't know if it's going to be like 6 or 7 times faster like Alita can. So that would, I think Alita would have the edge on that one. Fighting skill with Panzer Kunst, and I think Badman brings that up pretty well. You know, I think Alita has got the edge on this one. You know, I think she's, you know, just the training, the techniques, the fact that the martial art is specifically designed for cyborgs. And Android 18 is an organic person. I mean, she's a cyborg, but she's not a total replacement cyborg, you know. But I think Alita has the advantage on this one. And in terms of weaponry, I think they're pretty even. You know, now certainly Alita has that plasma weapon, but Android 18 can also, you know, use a directed energy weapon and the projectiles, you know, energy projectiles. So, you know, hard to tell which one is better. You know, I don't know if now Alita can certainly call down lightning, you know, but I'm not sure how adept she is in this body. Maybe she is, I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a tie. And if you guys think that's no, Alita's got this one, you know, if that's the case, let me know. And in terms of endurance, I think that potential, perpetual energy reactor that Android 18 has. Now, Alita's heart is pretty damn good. You know, I mean, it'll go a long time, but Android 18's reactor is perpetual. It will go on theoretically forever, you know. It's probably got some end point to it, but it's probably going to go longer than that antimatter microreactor heart. So in this particular fight, I think probably Android 18 beats Alita in the Berserker body. Thoughts? Yes, that's right, Finn. Android 18 can fly. That's right. I forgot about that. So that'd be a capability that would work real well here, I think.
Movie Berserker, I would say I agree, but manga Berserker, I'd go Alita because she can manipulate the her plasma field to basically do a magneto and just float herself up in the air. So, given the effect of flying.
I think Android 18 though can fly similar to like Superman. So I don't know, you know. It'd be a tough fight. This would be a really tough fight right here. It could go on for days for sure, you know. And I wish Den was here because he could really tell us about that. Any other thoughts, you guys? Now, I know Smendrick, you and Lee don't know Android 18 that well. What about you, Angelus? It's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. We have to review this this slide after our
we got some more
watch
slides.
Party. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's I'm serious. So
yeah.
Some of my remarks. Because we have to remember the moves.
Yeah.
Not only the facts or the properties of skins or weapons, but we have to see the moves.
Yeah, what kind of weight would you put on fighting skill too? Because you remember Panzerkunst is designed for, you know, the practitioner to fight larger opponents, you know, that are much larger than them. Like when she fought, now she was in the Imaginos body for sure, but when she fought, you know, Toji was like, how big was Toji? He was several meters. I mean, she's 1.5 meters tall, and he's like.
He was like vehicle scale.
Yeah, he was. He like 10 meters tall or something like that. He was freaking huge. Well, maybe not 10 meters, but maybe 7 meters or something like that. But
he was
big.
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, he was. So, and Alita, now she was in her Imaginos body, of course, and she beat him, you know, but the fighting skill itself is still inherent in both bodies. So, yeah, you know, this is assuming a weight of 1-to-1 for each ability. You know, fighting skill might overcome strength and durability. You don't know. You know, I mean, depending on, how much and what the difference is between her and Android 18.
Yes,
Android 18 is pretty good, you know, at fighting.
Yeah, this was my initial question. What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell, you know, and certainly I don't.
Maybe we get closer if we all would watch the especially Android 18 moving. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, Finn has had a good one. That maybe the Berserker body could absorb the energy projectiles. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe, you know. I know. Well, I don't think Android 18 used any energy projectiles on Vegeta. I just think she just beat the crap out of him just with her fists and feet. You know.
I suspect energy weapons might be pretty destructive against the Berserker body.
Yeah, I think so. You know.
I mean, trying to have the nanotech repair a damage from a physical impact is one thing, but when you've got an energy weapon, you can actually destroy material of the body.
Not to mention the nanites. Yeah, not to mention nanite. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the nanites are the physical body. So
yeah, that's right. Now, Finn brings up a good point. What about that Damascus blade? Yeah, I mean, she's organic mostly. If Alita has that plasma weapon going and she slices her, she'd cut her in half, you know. I mean, yeah, that's why I kind of got the weaponry as a tie, you know. Which one's better? I don't know, you know. Yeah, that's right, Bad Man. When Thor fought Iron Man in the first movie of the Avengers, he hit him.
Yeah, he charged up
Charged up
Iron Man's suit.
to like 483% or something like that, and he says, "Imagine that," and then blasts him with a. Yeah. Yeah, we had a stream on this about lightsabers versus Damascus blade with plasma engulfed in plasma. Yeah, that was an interesting little discussion. Anyway, this is a Creek's take, and this is such a close fight; it could go the other way. I mean, for sure.
Well, I really don't know anywhere close to enough about Android 18 to say one way or the other. So we just go with yours.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on to, because we've been on 2 hours because the Creek was running his mouth about Rosa so much. Imaginos 2.1 Alita versus Android 18. Now, in this one, intelligence goes to Alita because she is connected to 2 super quantum computers, and Android 18 is there. She's not connected to anything like that. I mean, so the vast stores of information she can access and make decisions with and stuff like that. Who knows how many petabytes, or what do you call something above petabyte? I'm not sure that she would have access to with Arthur, or I can't remember the name of the other computer, but she, I think it's just too much, in terms of strength. I think Alita's got her beat easy here. I mean, having access to that power through the singularity, that's going to be way too much for Android 18. I mean, it's, pretty badass. Durability, Android 18 may have the advantage, maybe not though, but she's got that.
That's the thing. If Android 18 is still pretty much an organic human body, then she would she'd have to have been transformed in some fashion.
Yeah, I think she was. That Dr. Giroux or whatever his name is, I think did a lot of that. Transformed a lot of them. She's not the only one.
So it could actually be argued if her flesh and blood body was altered to something tougher than just flesh and blood, then she might still count as a total replacement cyborg after a fashion. Just not in the traditional sense.
Yeah, exactly. And Bad Man, thanks for that zettabyte. I forgot about that. That's 1 billion terabytes. Oh man. And probably Alita has access to multiple zettabytes of information. Good point. Speed, Alita, easy. If she runs at relativistic speed, there is just no way Android 18 is going to be able to compete with that.
That's the thing. If she's going at relativistic speeds like that, I mean, have you seen Invincible?
Yes. I saw the first season. So.
Okay. Well, in the first season, Omni-Man goes to that other dimension and hits that other planet.
Yeah.
And when he starts flying, I think he hits relativistic speeds on the planet, and you see what it does to it.
Yeah.
So if Alita starts running at relativistic speeds on the planet, you're going to end up having, pretty much almost no planet left.
That's right. Yeah. But in science fantasy, maybe we can spare the planet. Maybe who knows?
If you just slow down or something.
Yeah, who knows? Well, like the Flash. The Flash runs at relativistic speeds, and he doesn't destroy the planet. And Superman can fly.
Well, he's got that special speed force thing that is.
Yeah, I guess so. That's right. But Superman doesn't. He moves. He can move at speed of light. So.
I don't think he does it on Earth, though, is the thing.
Not on Earth. He just did that. He flew to the edge of the universe. What they call it, the barrier or something like that, or the wall or whatever. I don't remember.
And remember, that's a superhero universe. They got different physics.
Yeah, they do. But I think even if Alita doesn't run, if she runs at Mach 6.5, like even in the Berserker body, she's going to still be faster, than the Android 18. Fighting skill, Alita easy. I mean, she had the edge in the Berserker body and fighting skill.
So even more so in the Imaginos body.
Yeah, that's right. Because the body's more capable, and the techniques would be more. I don't know. They'd be more destructive, I guess. Weaponry. Now I got Ty here. I might be wrong about that. She still has those energy projectiles she can fight. Android 18 does, but certainly Alita can control plasma and lightning in this body much better than she can in the Berserker body. What is this? Take 50,000 years to go to the edge of the Milky Way. That's exactly right. Well, from where we are, Bad Man, I think, what are we, 30,000 light years out from the center? So if you went to the edge of the galaxy, it'd be about 20,000.
We were fairly close to the galactic rim. Not like real close, but
yeah, we're like
closer to that than we were to the center.
Yeah,
of the
we're
galaxy.
like 60% out or something. But now, to his point, if a photon starts at one edge of the galaxy and goes through the center and then goes to the other edge, it'd take 100,000 years. Ah, there it is. I knew I was right. Dr. Jiru is a man that created all 4 of those androids. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Finn. Finn, you ought to come back on the stream sometime, man. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Bad Man. 30,000 years. That's what I thought it was. Endurance. Android 18, but I'm not sure about that. I think that might change because Alita is in that Imaginos body, and she's still flesh and blood, unless she's been specially augmented in some way to where her skin is and her body is more like a cyborg. But I don't think it matters here, even if she is. So yeah, that endurance is probably wrong. That probably should be Alita, but it doesn't matter. Alita wins anyway. So in this one, so it looks like, that I guess that let me go back. I'm gonna go back some. Well, Gary, come on. Yeah, that one right there. Well, you guys know my name anyway. It doesn't matter. So anyway, this is a Imaginos body, and then of course this one way back here. That's still Imaginos. Come on, Gary. Jeez, there we go. So Android 18, we said, now, and this is subjective for sure, that she wins with the Berserker body if she fights Alita in Berserker body, and Alita wins if she fights Android 18 in the Imaginos 2.1 body. So, and that's what this slide says. I should have went ahead and done that. And too bad Angelus is not on here. He got something happened to his internet, I guess. So we got basically one wins one fight and the other one wins the other fight. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we got to have a tiebreaker, doesn't it? So the tiebreaker will be who wins on Uwu. And that would be Alita.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Now, Android 18's got some pretty good Uwu, that's for sure, Yeah. Well, at least Kirillin thinks so, I guess. Yeah, that's right, Finn. You must come back on the stream. We don't care, Finn, if your English is if you speak broken English. We don't care. Creek speaks broken Deutsch a lot of times, so
Yeah, us native English speakers still speak broken English occasionally.
Yeah, we do. Very broken. Any thoughts, Guy? Oh, go ahead.
There's one thing I don't get really. Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
Pronounce it C.
Z.
Is it
Z. Yeah,
Z.
Z.
Is it the Z with the A, B, C?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's Dragon Ball Z, basically.
It's like Japan. Japan. Z.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball
my
Z.
little problem with English.
Yeah, from my understanding, in Europe they usually call Z the letter Z Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was why I'm asking that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, there are other versions of Dragon Ball too. There's the original Dragon Ball where Goku is actually a little boy and he's got a tail.
That was
kind of like Cat
intention.
Lita,
Yeah.
And they have Dragon Ball Super is another one. That's one more.
Except I think his is more of a monkey tail than a cat tail.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think.
Did we have a panel where you can, or where we?
Well,
can
I do.
use it?
Yeah, well, we can. I mean, we can discuss that. But like, for instance,
Is she hanging on the tail? Only on the tail?
who's this? Who, Alita? In
Yeah.
the Imaginos 2.1? Yeah, she's got a cat tail.
I understand.
She does.
Well, briefly, she does anyway.
Yeah, briefly. Yeah, she loses it. But that's Creek's favorite version of Alita.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah,
anyway,
I understand apes have a tail, which can
No,
be
apes
used
don't
as-
have a tail. Monkeys have tails.
monkeys. Yeah,
sorry.
that's right.
Sorry. Monkeys have tails. They can use to as a fifth
Yeah, who
arm.
was it? I can't remember the guy's name in DragonBallZ who had. Was it Goku?
Well,
That had the tail?
he did have a tail as a little boy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
And was it
I don't
prehensile?
know this.
Say again.
Was it prehensile? Could
No,
you
I
like
think
hang from it or use it for things?
I don't think he could hang. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Okay.
It was a vestigial tail, though. I know that.
Okay.
So, and I think all Saiyans have tails, or at least
Have tails in their kids.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
So it's like a Saiyan thing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing about these fights is I think the Android 18 versus Berserker Alita fight is going to be a lot closer. Now, if Den was here, he could, give us some more insight on that. But I think Alita could beat Android 18 in a Berserker body. I mean, it might be really tough. I would probably say that, and now this is just my gut feeling, knowing no more than I know about Android 18, but I've seen her in the anime, that probably this is a 60-40 fight. If they fight 10 times, Android 18 is going to win 6 and Alita's going to win 4. But in my opinion, Imaginos 2.1 Alita is going to beat Android 18 Alita 8 or 9 times out of 10, probably, and maybe even 10 out of 10. I'm not sure. Now, Den may disagree with me, Of course, there's not too many beings are going to be able to stand up to Imaginos 2.1 Alita anyway. I mean, maybe Superman probably could, for sure. He might be able to. So,
yeah.
Well, he's
I'm even not sure about this.
I think he could.
Maybe a tie, but no.
Well, see, Superman's invulnerable. Now, I think Badman on a previous stream came up with a pretty good idea that maybe Alita could synthesize kryptonite and take him down. Now, that could happen.
Yeah.
So, because she is a shapeshifter, so she can do it. She can probably produce some kryptonite. Maybe turn her hands into kryptonite and punch him or something. I mean, who knows? Yeah, that's right. But it might be considered cheating, but hey, it's inherent in her ability, isn't it? So hey. Anyway, I think in the Creek's opinion, I think Alita is going to win. The first fight will be a lot tougher. The second fight is going to be easy, in my opinion. I think Alita is going to beat Android 18 in that second bot in that Imaginos 2.1 body very easily. I don't think it'd be much of a fight, really. The fight with the Berserker body is going to be different. That's going to be a lot tougher. Because you remember the Imaginos 2.1 Alita is orders of magnitude more powerful than the Berserker body. So, I mean, that's that, I guess.
True.
Any thoughts? Yeah, now Finn's calling it Cyborg 18. She is a cyborg. Yeah, she's cute. There's no doubt about it. Well, they're both cute, what is this, Batman? Are they fighting over teriyaki? Or no, Takai.
Taiyaki.
Taiyaki, yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
At least that's what it looks like. Looks like
Yeah.
taiyaki is.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of dish?
What is that, Batman? Is that a dish of some kind?
I mean, I'm assuming it probably is, but
Yeah. I know in Dragon Ball they're big on eating. That's all Goku wants to do is eat and train and fight. That's all he wants to do. All right. Well, I guess we hit that one good enough. We've been going for over 2 hours here because once again the creek was just going on and on and on and on about Rosa. So anyway.
Well, that was rather noteworthy. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything, you guys? Ah, that's what it is. Those fish cakes from the last order. Okay. So I don't guess we missed anything.
I just realized I haven't had dinner yet. And talking about food's making me hungry.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because I want to get something to eat myself. Although I did eat a pizza about 3 hours ago, a vegetarian pizza, folks. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
That's
moving on.
nice.
Yeah, I'm afraid so, Finn. We've been going on a pretty good while here. If a creek hadn't been running his mouth about our queen, we might be done now. And speaking of which, there's our queen. And like I say, man, if you get a chance, go. If you're in the LA area, go see this play. It is just awesome, man. This play is so good. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained by this thing. There wasn't a dull moment in it. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the play, I don't know, that might have been one or two of the actors might have been late or something getting there because traffic in LA is ridiculous, at times,
As much as I might like to, I would probably like to see that play. The traffic, among many other reasons, are probably why I'm going to make sure I'm never in the LA area.
Well, I took Uber, everywhere, so it wasn't that big a deal for me. But but I would say if you can get to see this play, you won't regret it. This play is just so super. I mean, Charlie and I were mesmerized.
I've been thinking too. I think they actually had a movie adaptation set in the more modern time with Steve Martin.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, he played a fireman who had a really long nose.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Steve
he
Martin.
had it was called Roxanne too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Roxanne. Yeah. I don't know, bad man. I watched Angelus play Cyberpunk 2077 once, but I'm not familiar with familiar with Cyberpunk 2077.
Fewer rocket launchers.
Well, we weren't being shot at by rocket launchers, so I guess maybe the traffic wasn't so bad, but anyway, like I say, if you can go see this play, God Almighty, it's good. I mean, and like say Charlie and I, we were just freaking mesmerized. We were mesmerized by our queen. She is so freaking talented, man. I'm telling you, she is just awesome.
No, fewer rocket launchers in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, there probably are a few less. Yeah, that's right, Finn. 99 for our queen. And remember, she said she would wear that crown proudly. Also want to give out shout outs to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They brought Screwhead to life, and we certainly want to see Screwhead in the sequel. Teaming up with Alita when they take on Joshigan's team, because I imagine in the movie they would probably have two teams. They may not, they may let Joshigan take on the entire team, like he did in the manga.
Well, if they do it anything like what Maxie is figuring they might do, that Maxie's doing it in his fanfic, where Zalem sends down some technology to supercharge Joshigan.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's kind of like in the manga where, he Nova, modifies him.
Yeah.
So anyway, as I say, that's all three of these ladies are really good at what they do, and they, for sure, Rosa and Elle are really, really good, really great actresses, and Jessie's a badass stunt woman, that's for sure, but it sure don't hurt these ladies are pretty either. And I'll tell you, man, I was stunned when I saw Rosa come out. I mean, she is just, she is
Stunning.
drop dead. Yeah, drop dead gorgeous is what she is. I mean, she's really good and just engaging, to talk with and stuff. I mean, she's just a super thing.
I always got
So
the impression she was very personable from what I saw of her in the interviews and things.
she is. I know when I was talking to her, I don't know. You'd have to ask Charlie what his take is, but it's you forget she's a celebrity. I mean, for me, I just was talking to her, and she was, just talking, we were just sitting there talking, two people talking to each other, and, but yeah, she is drop dead gorgeous, this lady, man, that's for sure. Okay, tomorrow on Radio Chaos, I had to get off that slide or else I'd start again. So anyway, Radio Chaos, episode 232, we're going to be talking about what it would be like if Alita was some kind of Time Lord. I guess that'd be like a time traveler or something. Now, Angela said,
Time Lords are a race of human-looking, although they always say that humans are Time Lord looking. People from a planet called Gallifrey, and they have the ability to manipulate the time stream.
Okay.
And they also have this ability to regenerate and create a new body for themselves that slightly alters their personality a little bit as well.
Finn, in the manga, Alita's name is Alita. Now, there are other names. There, like I think the original name was Gary, and that would be not like Gary Villeneuve. It'd be like Gary, Gari, not Y. And then it became Gally after that, Gally. And then it became Alita, so.
Well, I think Yoko.
Yoko also. Yeah, Yoko in the
Alita was always the name that Ito gave her.
Yeah.
But her real name was always something else, like you said, Gary, Gally, or Yoko.
Yeah, well, Yoko is Alita's the name she just more identifies with, because you remember there was one scene where she was about to fight Erica and Erica called her Yoko, and Danko said, "Why is she calling you Yoko?" And Alita said, "Well, that was the name I used when I was a kid, or something like that." So anyway, yeah, a bunch of names, but Alita is the name that she takes for herself. That's the one she identifies with personally, So anyway, so join us tomorrow for that one. Be a lot of fun, I think. Okay, so I guess I guess what we want to do here is just kind of wrap things up. Any final thoughts, guys, that you can come up with there about? It could be anything. It could be Android 18. It could be, it could be Alita in either body. If you want to talk about Rosa some more, the Creek would be more than happy to do that. or what else?
I'm kind of at a loss.
I would say, remember what we talked about, the watch party with Android 18. Okay, and then should schedule it, or you agree a date with, and a date and time with then, but do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put some kind of text out on the watch party text channel, about when we're going to do it. I'll put a date there or something, and we can, put a date and time. We can go with that, kind of like we do the streams,
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Well, just to remind everybody, the Alita Army, we are Alita advocates, and we definitely support Alita and our Queen Rosa passionately and positively. That's for sure. And yep, we do some cool things, like giving that about 2 or 3 times we've given money to the Hero Arm campaign, you know, and I got to check with them to see, you know, what's going on with that. You know, we gave them $5,200, so they ought to give us some credit for that, as they would say. But Disney, you see that last bullet right there? We are here to stay. We are not going anywhere. We are going to keep doing what we're doing until we get those sequels. That's what we're going to. The Creek is going to do it. I don't give a damn if I'm 110 years old. Do it.
Reading that comment from Finn there.
And we have we have a very strong queen with us.
Yes, we do. We have a very strong queen, a very talented queen. I mean, just talking to her too, you get the sense she's very intelligent. You know, I mean, she's, I mean, I guess, you know, after you've read so many scripts and studied parts and stuff like that, you're going to get some knowledge out of that stuff, you know. But, yeah, just super. Oh, I'm going to stop rambling. I'll start rambling again if I do that. So.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Disney, did you hear us?
Yes.
So.
And if Rosa is out on the chat, if she's out there secretly, I'm sorry, Rosa. I don't mean any harm, as they would say down south, you know.
Oh,
yeah, we just all in the Elite Army. We just love Rosa to death. She is just super, you know. I mean, like say, she said she would wear that crown with pride. Boy, that really got me right there. You know, that's pretty cool, you know. Okay, so anyway, the Creek will shut up now, and I guess we will go to why is this image here? Well, that image is there right there because I like it, and of course I am the producer, director, stream manager, janitor, grip, production assistant, you know, anything you want to call it. That's what I am on this stream.
Nice.
So, and to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. That just leaves one thing left to do. And that is the call to action. And that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. And we will see you next week. Announcement. I'm not going to be able to do the stream next week, but I will upload a previous stream that was really, really popular. So we'll do that. Mm-hmm. And I guess now we can kick off Hot Toys Alita. So you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos too, by the way. Bye.
Bye. Take care, guys. Thanks.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.